here we are back in our magic park theme park. Today we're gonna build a giant building. Well, it's actually three buildings, but it's all just connected. It's gonna look like a little corner just to fill that empty space, cause one couldn't really do much more with that. Well, because on the other side there's gonna be an attraction. I'm still thinking about which attraction to put there. I've There's like this one where you fly around in circles where you can do like your own loopings. I've been on that in real life. It's like actually pretty fun, but yeah, I think that fits pretty well there. But on the building, I put different colors just to get just to make it look more fun. Because if it's all just the same, it looks a bit, yeah, as I said, it looks a bit the same. I mean, it is kind of the same type of building. I've used the same roof three time here. But that's the style I'm going for. You gotta stay within like the same kind of building style and so on. Put another tower down though, a pretty big one. You're gonna see that later on. But yeah, that's the boring part of it all, just building the building itself. Well, most of this thing is boring, just building the building. I really don't like that part. I really like when you can like build the roller coasters and put some scenery around that. But what I also like is if you have some building in the background, so it kind of needs to be done. And as you saw that, I want to make this one a little bit taller, cause otherwise they look too much the same, which isn't really good. And another color of roof. As I said, they need to look different enough. They can't look too different though, otherwise they don't fit anymore. But this is pretty much one more episode that the main area is gonna be done. A little bit of decorating in the building we built last time. The one with a park in front of it, cause there's just like one way and there's like nothing around it. I mean, on the main part it looks nice, but on the secondary path, maybe just put a fence there or something. I think that would be more realistic. But then we're gonna go into the next theme areas. I thought about which ones I'm gonna do. I'm pretty certain I'm gonna do a pirate run, just because I love building pirate style with all the palm trees and so on. So much fun to do that. But yeah, for another one, I um I have a bit of experience building sci-fi areas. I've built one that I was pretty proud of. But if I wanted to do something in this park, I'd probably do it with like giant buildings and so on, because that really does fit in a sci-fi area. You can see that there's a tower. I might put clocks up there. I should just put normal windows for now, but one could build a church on the other side that actually could fit in the area. But yeah, I'm just building a restaurant. I don't do that often, but I mean, it would be nice if it would be kind of um, if you could look into it and so on. But I think that might be a little bit too difficult to code, especially for especially for a game like that. But yeah, just select some stuff. So actually have some people going in there. Um, the thing is just I know that you can recolor like the bathrooms and also the main building of a restaurant, but I don't know how. So I should probably check that out so one day, cause I actually like this to fit with a building color, at least the color of the foundation. Cause right now they're just blue. That doesn't really fit in the area. So yeah, I've also changed up the windows a little bit because on the other two buildings they have two times the same color of window, and if it's three times it's a bit too much I think. So I've just kept it like that. I didn't bother building the other two buildings in windows on the back because you're definitely not gonna see that. On the blue building you might, but on the other ones you definitely don't. So I just kept it empty. If you do, you can always put windows there. It isn't too difficult to create that. But as it is right now, it's pretty good. Now we are here, just trying to fill out these little spaces. I'm only gonna do this one because I'm not quite sure about it. Basically, this whole area is just there so you can have some spaces to sit down on. And I've added some around the whole area, as you're gonna see later, just because I mean it is useful. And in a real theme park, you have like lots of places where you can just go down and sit. It's like everywhere kind of. You have lots of like rocks that are there as a fence, but you can also just sit on them. Lots of people do. It's probably designed like that. Now that I think about it. Then we're coming for the queue, just making this part look better, cause I mean, it's kind of in the middle of the first part of a theme park, so it needs to look good. Put a few rocks down there, mainly some greenery. I have like the nicely cut geometrical greenery in the back, like the garden thing. So I thought maybe just do it a bit more organic over here. I mean, as long as it looks good, that's like the main part. And as long as I get the scenery rating on the queue, because that actually makes a big difference on how many people get into the park. I mean, I have a pretty good PC. I know lots of people have like difficulties. They can't let more like around 2k people into the park. Well, I'm happy that I don't have that because a full park actually looks way nicer. But you also have a problem that the queues may be a bit too small. Then I've had this blank area that I just wanted to fill in. Because everything needs to be kind of filled in, otherwise it looks like you just neglected that part. Just looks empty. But here I'm thinking like putting some of the vines on top of buildings, but red on red just didn't look that good, so I just switch it out for the green ones. I put green on green here, but I think that's okay. So yeah, what's the next up? There's gonna be yeah, just work on that area a little bit more because I mean it needs to be done. That's like stuff I really don't like. I really hate doing stuff like that, but it needs to be done still. Otherwise, it just looks empty. As I said, like also with the other part, it doesn't take much work, and the work it does take is not that important. Now this queue, I'm really not happy with it how it ended up, but I needed to put something around there, and I think the attraction really fits pretty well into it. So as you wanna see, I'm just gonna put this small building around here. It's not taking lots of work, but I mean, we do we do need it to have some kind of building in there, cause otherwise it looks too empty. So I just put this little building down there. But that's all for today already. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it and goodbye.